Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Virtual Talk Show's Sustainable Tourism Series. I'm Mustafa Ahmed, your host today. In facing of a new normal post-pandemic life, we need to think of new ways to adapt to new ways of life. Therefore, this program to help to brainstorm industry needs, solution, and new idea for the future of travel. To talk about new technology, motivation, and listen to expert perspective on how digitization can bring the industry to post-pandemic way of operation. This is a social initiative project that aims to uplift the spirit of industry players amid this challenging time and get us all to the light at the end of tunnel. Today, World Halal Tourism Exchange Virtual is bringing live from Leicester, England, with Mr. ABDUL SACOOR, the man who helped £10 million turnover Hajj companies to achieve sales target through online training. He is the founder of the online tourism marketing agency www.marketingmentor.travel. We are honored to have him on Sustainable Tourism Talk Show to discuss about halal tourism recovery, what Muslim travelers need from travel business. Welcome to our show, Mr. Abdul.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum, brother Mustafa. How are you? Ramadan Kareem Mubarak. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for accepting our invitation. Before you start, Mr. Abdul, you have mentioned that you like to start your interview with the special dua, right?
That's correct. Thank you very much.
Yeah, can you please start?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي ملك من تشاء وتنزع ملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب رحمن الدنيا والآخرة ورحمهما تؤتي منهما من تشاء وتمنع منهما من تشاء اقضي عن الدين. Say you, O beloved, O God, owner of sovereignty, you grant sovereignty to whom you will, and you strip sovereignty from whom you will. You honor whom you will, and you humiliate whom you will. In your hand is all goodness. You are capable of all things. You merge the night into the day, and you merge the night into the day, and you merge the day into the night. And you bring the living out of the dead, and you bring the dead out of the living, and you provide for whom you will without measure. O God, O Allah, firstly, I ask you to give patience and emotional relief to the families who lost their loved ones as a result of the COVID-19. O God, I ask you today to help me, my family and relatives, my friends and neighbors, to all the children and vulnerable people and everyone that has been impacted by the coronavirus. Help us all overcome this challenge. Give us health, restore peace in our homes, and provide for all of us. Verily, you are the best provider. Help the economy and all the industries. Help the travel industry. Help the World Halal Tourism Exchange and all the team, and make our industry strong again. Make this interview a source for ideas and an instrument for positive change. Make us successful in finding solutions. We believe in better days, as they will be coming soon, since your mercy encompasses everything. Ameen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul, for your dua. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah, inshallah, accept your dua. Mr. Abdul, before we start, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is ABDUL SACOOR. I'm the founder of the learning platform www.marketingmentor.travel. And for a living, I help travel professionals to get the skills that they need to meet their customers' needs. my focus is to support business professionals to save time and money with mentoring, digital marketing training, and content creation. So yeah, this is me. I'm based in England, and I'm very happy to be here.
Me too. Nice to meet you, Mr. Abdul Sacoor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Nice to meet you as well.
Mr. Abdul, based on recent development, some countries are already lifting their lockdown bans. Even some airlines are already restarting their air operation. What do travel businesses, hotels, tour operators need to do to prepare for the incoming flow of tourists?
Yeah, sure. So some countries are already restarting their activities in baby steps, with some cautions and guidelines for people to be careful and still respecting social distancing, using of masks and gloves, and not mobilizing not so much as they do. So it's still a very early stage, but I think for travel companies, it's very important to be active in three main areas. The first is the internal health procedures. So, for example, as a tourist, I go to a country, I want to be sure, I need to have reassurances. From the moment that I land in the airport till I get to the hotel, there's a whole process, right? So at the airport, I want to be safe. I want to be sure, 100% sure that I'm not getting any kind of contagious from coronavirus. So it's very, very important that not only the people from the airport, but the people that are working for the hotel where I'm going to stay, that are qualified, that are trained to provide me a good service. So let me just give you an example. I land at the airport, okay, and I'm going to get to my transfer to get to the hotel. For me, a reassurance is that the person that is receiving me is carrying my luggage, is wearing protective equipment, okay, he's wearing gloves, mask, he's cleaning my luggage, okay, and during the itinerary, during the way, the route to get to the hotel, I want him to give me reassurances, not to talk about number of deaths. Unfortunately, that's a reality that we cannot ignore, but as a tourist, I want to hear new developments, good developments. I want to have reassurances that that destination specifically is doing whatever they can to ensure my health safety. So it's a whole process, not only from arriving at the destination, but actually exploring the destination. Afterwards as well, it's important that when I'm at the hotel, I need to know that the hotel is doing everything that they can actually to ensure my safety, my health safety. So, for example, having procedures in place like hand sanitizers in the hotel, having teams in the hotel that are cleaning every 20 minutes the places like the furniture, the room. This is very, very important because with all that we are hearing on social media, we need to have some kind of peace and confidence in the places that we are going, right? So this is really the first point. The second point, since there has been a stop in tourism, I think it's important, and some countries are already doing it, create financial incentives. So I've seen some hotels in the States, they are creating hotel bonds, vouchers, hotel credits. You can get, for example, a $100 voucher, and you can use it in different hotels in the same chain in different parts of the globe. So I think it's important for hotels to be sensitive in this time that the spending habits have changed. The spending power has also changed for many tourists, and they have to consider to create incentives for tourists to visit their destinations. The third point is also very, very important, to create a very solid communication strategy. So not only on your digital channels, but also physically with your local tourists. You need to make us tourists aware that you are doing everything that you can to ensure my safety, my health safety. It is very important. For me, I want to be safe. I've already been in lockdown. I want to be in peace whenever I go to a different country. And for me, the best reassurance is actually to see the example by the travel professionals like tour operators, travel agencies, hotels, wherever they can to ensure my safety. So I think if if the companies are focused on these three areas, it will create more confidence, build trust for me to visit a destination.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Abdul, for your first 3 points. The most important in the future for travelers. Okay, Mr. Abdul, we continue with the next. At this moment, people are scared to leave their house, let alone travel. What can be done to reinstate confidence and travel again?
Yeah, actually, that's a tough one because each country is living their own coronavirus reality. But at the moment, what I can say is that everyone's hungry for travel holidays, right? And I really believe that travel companies should create direct channels with their customers. So let me just give you some ideas what travel companies can do, like hotels, tour operators, to attract more travelers. So I think it's important, first of all, to train your staff in using all digital channels. For example, you can create a Facebook Live, a YouTube Live on a weekly basis. If you can do every 2 day, or every other day, it's also possible because we want to hear from you, from the hotel director, from the hotel expert, that wherever I'm going to a safe place. And I've seen some examples, but not so much like I used to like I would like to, because if I'm going to a specific hotel, I'm not going to booking.com or TripAdvisor and book it just like I would do maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It's not the same process anymore, because the business process has changed. The dynamics of the business has changed a lot. So for me, if the hotel director organizes, schedules a Facebook Live and responds to my inquiries and shows me actually what are the measures that are being done at the hotel in the site, that will give you more reassurances. The second thing is loyalty. And I'm just going to give you an example. 7 years ago, I went to a conference in Prague, in Czech Republic, and I loved my stay there. After 7 years, it's incredible. And it was just a few days ago, last week, I received a card from them by post. And the message was, "Hi, Abdul, how are you these days? Hope you are well and safe. We just want to let you know that it's safe to be here at your next booking with us." So I'm at home in lockdown. Okay, I'm looking for options for my holidays. The first idea or the first hotel that comes into my mind, it's this hotel, because I know that it's concerned about myself, my safety. And this is what hotels, travel companies need to do. They need to be active with their audiences and give reassurances. So creating this kind of cards, it's very, very useful. One of the other points that is also very important, that you need to create content that speaks the language of your audience. Not only in your email marketing campaigns, but in your WhatsApp, SMS messaging, in your blogs, in your website, on your social media campaigns. You need to have a standard message across all the channels, but you need to create sensitive and relevant content to your audience, considering the moment that we are living, right? One of the other points as well is to create synergies with other businesses. So, for example, if there is a hotel or a travel agency, it's important that you collaborate with all the businesses around. Like, for example, you can collaborate with restaurants, with laundry, with the barber shop, because we're all in the same boat, right? And a traveler, whenever he goes to a destination, he won't just stay in the hotel. He wants to explore the place. He wants to know that everywhere that he goes, it's safe. So it's important that there is a partnering collaboration and collaborative opportunities for local businesses that needs to be implemented for tourists. One of the other things that it's very, very important is that travel businesses should attract local customers. With all the travel bans, it's unlikely that someone that is still suffering the effects of the COVID-19 will come to your country. So if you create conditions even for local tourists from other cities to come to your city, that's a must. That's a plus, really, and it's actually an opportunity for you, and also, let's say, a reference for potential prospects and potential travelers. So I think if we follow these guidelines, there will be more conditions for people to come to your destination.
Yeah. So maybe after this, travel industry have to focus on local traveler. After that, maybe to extend to other traveler from outside. Okay,
Yes,
Mr. Abdul.
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Abdul, it's look like very great idea actually, and is there specific content marketing strategy during this pandemic that travel business should be adopting?
Yeah, sure. So in these sensitive times, I think it's very, very important that each travel business should create a content strategy that it's sensitive and relevant to your audience. So, for example, one of the approach that a hotel or a tour operator can have is to actually have someone or even themselves to employ someone to write about day-to-day updates about coronavirus. So if I want to know about coronavirus, I can go to social media. But knowing from the hotel director, knowing from the hotel expert, knowing from the travel specialist that this is going on in my country, in my destination, it's different. It gives me a different feeling about that destination, right? Because news and numbers and figures we are hearing all the time, but for someone that is expert in their industry and it's a health promoter of their destination, for me it's a plus. It's a plus to go there. And if, for example, if I know that the hotel has hired a doctor, yeah, just to be there during my stay, for me it's a reassurance, because for me I know that there is a risk, but at least I know that if anything happens, at least I have a safety plan there. I mean, it's not ideal and no one wants to be sick, but it's the way you communicate with your customer and the reassurance that you give to your customer. Okay, maybe you have to spend a little bit of money to hire a doctor, but that will be a healthy investment, I think.
Yes, sure.
The other important point as well is that you should post blog articles on your website and other platforms to get more engagement and page views, right? But you need to be the most human to human possible you can be in your platform. And one of the things that I would suggest as well is that in your marketing materials, you should avoid some kind of content site, like, for example, try to avoid crowds, because we want to respect the rule of social distancing, right? Small groups, so videos and photos of small groups of travelers walking with no protective equipment, okay? Old events, okay, which might confuse your audience. So at the moment, I think we need to also to be conscious of what other travel companies are doing, so that we can deliver a good message to our audience. This is very, very important, because the way we communicate with your audience, it will reflect then in the way that the travels will see us and the perception that they will have from us.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Abdul, do you think is LinkedIn a good platform to communicate with your audience and attract travelers?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, LinkedIn was used some years ago with the primary goal of hiring people. But now, with all the features and functionalities that they have, now you can use it for brand awareness, lead generation, or even drive traffic to your website. So there are not many ways, but there are few ways how the LinkedIn algorithm works. Yeah. So one of the things that you can do to get more exposure from your posts is like to get some family, friends, and contacts on your network to comment on your posts, even if it is maybe 5 or 10 comments. I wouldn't advise to post every day, but at least every 2 or 3 days. That will give you much more exposure. And also, the way it works is that it will generate more views when you are posting and you're getting those comments. The other thing as well that you can do is that you can post your travel content and use and interact with other people's posts as well. That will create some kind of engagement. I've seen some tourism boards which are using LinkedIn in a very, very professional way, considering the pandemic that we are living. So I'll just list you some examples. So if you see Visit Portugal on LinkedIn, you see Love Great Britain, Discover Puerto Rico, Philadelphia from Home, Travel Santa Lucia. These are just a few examples how they are actually targeting the travelers without including some of the old concepts that we had a few months ago of mass tourism, because now we are living in a way that is more independent travel, right? And also we're talking about sustainability, so sustainable tourism. People want to get experiences, but they will still want to have the social distancing measures in place. So I think it's important that we see some case studies and we adjust to our own reality. I think it's very, very important. And hopefully with this, we can get the machine back on track again with more visitors in international destinations, hopefully, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah. So everything will be changed after this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Hopefully, that's what we expect. But now I think it's a very good time to prepare ourselves, not only from a health perspective, which is majorly the primary priority, I would say, but also for the perception that the tourists will come. And if we are talking about, for example, niche travelers, so we're talking about Muslim tourists, they have very specific needs when they go to a destination. Okay, I mean, hygiene is part of our culture. We just need to convey the message that we are being the most hygienic possible. So yeah, it's a very important. Some countries and some tourism boards are already creating accreditation and certification programs for hygiene. So stay safe, stay clean. But actually, it's a very early stage. It's very premature to say that this country is a case study. They're actually implementing it. Everything that they are saying. It will take some time, but it's also important for travel professionals to show that they are doing their job. And in the end, with the confidence, with the trust, inshallah, I think things will get much more better. And obviously, tourism will be back on track again.
Inshallah, inshallah. Everything will be back, inshallah. Mr. Abdul, is there any recommendation for the type of travel posting on the social media?
Yeah, sure. So in these sensitive times, I think it's important to consider that we cannot post on social media like I used to do a few months ago even. I wouldn't even say a few years ago. One good thing is that many companies are adopting strategies which are very sensitive to the customer's feelings at the moment. And we've actually created a document on our website. So if you go to the www.marketingmentor.travel, there is a section there which is called COVID-19 Fight Plan. And over there, you will find a travel consultant survival kit. That will give you many ideas on how to create your posts and which type of content you should put and how regular you should put. So yeah, you have there some few guidelines, and it will be very, very good for you if you download. It's free, the document, so you can download it for free. So I invite everyone to check up and the website.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Abdul, this is solid gold for every travel business. Tell us, Mr. Abdul, where can people find you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm on all the socials. I have a page on Facebook, which is Marketing Mentor for Travel Professionals. You can contact me by email. My email is abdul.sacoor sacoor@marketingmentor.travel, or you can just send me a message on my website, and I'll be back to you. So yeah, this is a time for collaboration, to help each other, for solidarity, and yeah, the most helpful we can be, the best for the sake of everyone.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Abdul. So to facing post-pandemic, I think everything will become digital, and safety will be the main point to everybody to make sure the safety first, right, Mr. Abdul?
That's correct. Yes, safety first, and I hope everyone stays safe and clean. That's the main thing. Hygiene is priority, and we've learned with this pandemic that we need to wash our hands regularly. We need to be in environments which we are not exposed to crowds of people, and yeah, respect the rules of your local government. Always try to use protective equipment whatever you can, and in few months people will start with their daily jobs. Things will be a lot different, but as long as we have these things in mind, hopefully everything will be fine, and we hope that we can adjust to the new normal, let's say.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Abdul, can you give us some advice to travel industry?
Yeah, so tourism has been hit very hard. We've seen that the impact has been very strong, but now is the time for preparation. We had many crises, different types of crises in the last century. Okay, we overcome this one way or another. So we have to be really focused on our priorities. First is health. Second is to give that message to our customer, to our prospect, to our traveler, that we are doing everything we can to safeguard your health safety. That's the really the main thing. Okay, so some communities, for example, the Muslims, they do the ablution 5 times a day. For us, it's an hygiene. Hygiene is in our DNA. So we need to carry on those practices. We need to respect the rules of our local governments, and provide a good service, because now that everyone is on lockdown, everyone wants to have a break. Everyone wants to be on holidays, okay? And the destinations are there. The challenge is how to get there, okay? With the travel bans, with all the restrictions that they have in the airports, with the mass agglomeration restrictions that we have in place. So, but the destinations are there. The will is there. The will to travel is there. We just need to create the conditions and processes for people to go there. And from the moment that everyone's safe, and we use protective equipment, we use hand sanitizers, and we're doing all these steps that they are given to us by the health authorities, I think it's really the best thing we can do at the moment. And hopefully confidence will be reinstated and people will go back travel again. And this is my message to everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul. Mr. Abdul, it was great to have you here. Thank you very much for your time with us today, and I had the honor to have you today. Also, thank you for your valuable participation, and continue your effort in helping the industry.
Thank you very much, Brother Mustafa. It was a great pleasure. Thank you very much. All the best, and my greetings to you and to Brother Zedul in Malaysia. And Assalamu alaikum, and all the best, and Ramadan Kareem. Hopefully Allah will accept all our prayers in this blessed month. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome. Yeah, very much welcome. I hope all the sharing we bring it today will benefit to all of you. Until we meet again in the next program, me and on behalf of the all production team, would like to thank you very much for watching and see you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
See ya.